Somebody recently put someone real weird in their top 5, like Bubba Sparks or some shit.
Bubba Sparks. He can't be serious.
Bubba Sparks.
Hey,
You can't.
Bubba can rap though.
He can, but
Bubba can
God,
rap.
damn,
He ain't no top.
that's undermining
he ain't no top
a
10.
lot of people. Man. Like, holy shit, there's people in this day and age.
If there's one thing I learned though about just in the conversation of hip hop, is you can't ever know exactly what somebody was going through at a certain point in their life,
right,
where a certain album came out that impacted them in a way that couldn't have impacted anybody else because they weren't going through what that person was going through.
Well, and not only that too is we give them their personal top 5. So instead of like the top 5 best of the best, who do you feel is the best?
So we're doing a top 5 list.
It's like a person.
Top 5. So what we do is we do top 5 dead or alive, but we remove Biggie and Pac.
Okay, yeah.
So I think we're getting close to maybe removing Hove too.
Wow.
And maybe
He's
even
still living.
M.
M wasn't gonna be in my top 5.
He's in. What's funny is
he's in my top 8. But
yeah, we found that a lot of people have M in their top, even like the younger generation. Like we've interviewed some kids, I would say, recently that they were like, yeah, Eminem is everything. I'm like, really?
I mean, I think it's some things you just can't ignore. Like, you look at the the Kobe Michael Jordan situation. You can tell Kobe patterned his game after Jordan.
Of course.
It's so many artists I
He
feel
did
like
it,
did the same
but he did it
thing
better
to
than him.
Like, you look at a lot of artists now, I mean, Logic has his own style, but just that rhythmic flow that M brought was so different.
Yep.
A lot of artists, he made away.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, shit, that kind of cements him in that top 5 because he created a style of hip-hop that is regurgitated still today. A lot of people make it better now, in my opinion.
And that's my thing is I feel like everything now is, for lack of a better word, everything is on steroids now.
Well,
Not literally,
that's what
but
being a coach is all about, man. You're supposed to surpass the greats.
Right. Like humans have gotten better. You know what I mean? Like we've evolved. So of course LeBron is going to be better than Michael Jordan because
supposed to be.
He's supposed to be. He's evolved. He's an evolved type of human.
The fact that they get to study off of them, literally dissect every single move that they've done, master that, and do what they specialized in.
Exactly.
Shit.
Yeah. Like I'm a firm believer that the only way you could possibly like equate who's better is by trying to figure out what would happen in a one-on-one. And in my not humble opinion at all, LeBron washes Michael Jordan in a one-on-one because of sheer size.
Hell yeah. Like LeBron was what?
What are you going to do?
A one-on-one, Kobe, I think Kobe and LeBron would be a better matchup.
Exactly. I mean, obviously,
I would say Kobe and Mike would be. That'd be the one to me that.
But that's technically the same person,
right?
How do you equate that?
I feel like Kobe played way better man-to-man defense.
The comparison between Jordan and Kobe.
Kobe's my he's my favorite. I knew that.
The way he shoot, everything was identical to Jordan.
Did you guys see that? The comparison of Kobe and Jordan?
Yeah, everything.
The side by side.
Everything was right on point.
Fucking weird.
Right there.
And Bron could have done that too. Bron could have modeled his game after one of them, but he chose to play his own game.
Yeah.
I've never seen any. I mean, that's not true.
I mean, like
Michael Jordan was extremely exciting,
but Michael Jordan couldn't play the 5.
No, he could not.
Exactly.
But he was Mr. Clutch.
He's like
though,
a Kobe.
dude.
So Jordan could play all 5 positions. I mean, LeBron could play all 5 positions. Yep. So that's the leverage that LeBron have on all the people that we keep talking about.
The thing about Kobe and Jordan though was the clutch.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Statistically, the most clutch player of all time, LeBron James, and it's not close.
When it comes to championship,
statistically, I think it's Kawhi.
No,
but it's because
not.
it's
Kawhi
is long.
I looked it up after we had that argument about it months ago. Because I forget
would
who
say
it was,
more
but it was you and somebody else.
Memorable clutch
No,
scenario.
statistically, LeBron James is the most clutch player ever.
Maybe it's because I don't watch enough basketball.
That's probably what it is. He literally makes more game-winning shots than anybody in history.
I might have to look that shit up.
Part of the thing is that people go to though to try and like go against that argument. Well, yeah, but did he do it in Game 7 of the finals? Like, how many people did?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing though.
Exactly.
That's the clutch purpose. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing it on Game 7, that's where it really comes down to because your nerves are your nerves. I mean, if it's a Super Bowl and that's your last fucking drive, are you coming through?
Jordan I'm not saying that it's not
Kobe
special.
came through.
Yeah.
Kobe came through 15 feet behind the fucking line, 3-point, last second.
And there was nobody more fun to watch in the clutch than Kobe.
Crazy.
Kobe was the most fun to
I
watch.
feel like
a whole different
it's
gear.
so easy for us to forget, man.
Yeah.
It is.
Like a new generation of players come on. You know, you got the young kids loving Steph Curry because he's shooting. Now you got Trae Young's, guys like that who are just pulling up once they step past half court. But it's so easy to forget that Kobe revolutionized the game.
Facts.
The mid-game, wouldn't it evolved because of Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
Guys like that.
Yep.
It's so easy to forget. Kobe averaged 35 in a season.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Come on, man. With with Smush Parker, Brian Cook, and Luke Walton.
The only player I've ever gotten emotional over.
Kobe.
Well, that's not true. Kevin Garnett too, but that was for far different reasons. But like watching Kobe's final game, I still have that shit. I refuse.
DVR?
I refuse to return my DVR box because it's on there, and I might want to go back and review it. It's probably on YouTube now, but
They probably hit you with all kind of penalties and shit.
they tried, but I ain't paying. Come get me. That was how many years ago? Anyways, we should introduce our guest, man. We have a very important person here, VIP.
Thank you.
VIP. If you don't know,
Peace service.
he wears number 31 for our beloved Minnesota Vikings.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ameer Abdullah. I like it.
All about the peace.
Thank you for joining us, man.
Appreciate y'all having me on, man. This is
Yeah.
dope. The setup is dope. I'm already won over right now. I'm good.
Dope.
I got 3 stacks behind me. I got my ancestors behind me. I'm
saying.
good.
That's-
I'm good.
Facts. I love it. So, obviously, people know us as a hip hop based podcast. We will talk. We've already been talking music and sports, but I would like to let people know kind of more of who you are just as a person,
Cool.
because I think that's the cool shit. That's what people care about.
No doubt.
You can go look up stats all day, like what
It's
I mean?
easy. That's easy.
right?
Um,
And plus, you're into a lot of other shit outside of football that I think is interesting.
A lot of shit.
Yeah,
Kind
a
of
lot
blew
of
me
shit.
from surprise when we were kind of going over doing some research. you know.
okay. Cool.
Well,
So-
everything comes full circle because about a month ago, I think it was, I listened to the Power Trip Morning Show on KFan almost every day. And one of the guys on the morning show, Chris Hawkey, said that he one night turned on Under Center with Kirk Cousins and Mark Rosen, and that you were the guest. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I would have never expected, but I sat in my truck for 30 minutes to listen to it because you were such an interesting guy and he didn't know anything about it. And I was like, oh, shit, like really? I didn't know that. Full circle. Mo comes out here a couple weeks ago with Tomorrow Genius, and he's like, yo, Ameer's my guy. And I was like, no shit. I was like, he's an interesting dude. He's got shit going on outside of football that I think is dope. If you ever be interested in coming on the show, let's do it. Day after the episode drops, he's like, yo, he wants to come do the show. I'm like, perfect.
You spoke that into existence.
Exactly.
That's who I am. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
I'm a dreamer. I love to manifest. I'm the youngest of 9 kids from Birmingham, Alabama. Didn't really grow up with much. Went to University of Nebraska. Had a great career there. Was drafted to Detroit. Got to Minnesota last year. Re-signed with Minnesota this year. Been in the NFL now for 5 years. Been a whirlwind of a career. It's been up and down. It's been crazy. But like you said, I'm involved with a lot of things. I have my own real estate company. I produce and I direct film. I actually have a television series coming out real soon, so you guys check it out. It's going to be called Sunday Dinner. I'll get into that a little bit more if you guys will love me
That's
to.
in my notes. I was wondering about
Yeah,
that because
for
I heard you
sure.
talk about it, and I was like, it didn't come out yet. So
No,
where's
not
it
yet.
at? So
We're
where's
still
it
in the
at?
filming process right now. Be looking forward maybe early spring.
Is this going to be like kind of like podcast form, or is it going to be more of like?
So I'll just give you guys a little reference of what Sunday Dinner is. It is pretty much a round discussion, conversation with people from all walks of life around the community to just endorse communication and communion amongst us as people. Because there's a lot of disconnects that, keep us disconnected in our social chains as a community a lot of times, racially, sexually, a lot of things that we don't understand, so we fear.
Yeah.
And a lot of those walls of fear can be broken down through just discussion and conversation. So we do that over a Sunday dinner set. Where we have a chef in the back,
So
making
you're
us
actually
food.
eating dinner too.
We eating dinner.
Actually,
what I'm
that's
saying?
dope.
Eating dinner. Because when I grew up in Alabama, so
Yeah.
it's very conservative, very family oriented at times. At least my family was, and we would actually sit down and eat dinner together. Nowadays, people get their food, they're like, "Peace,
Never.
I'm going here, I'm going there." So just actually taking the time to understand more so than just to be heard.
Very dope.
A lot of times.
Very
So,
dope.
Yeah, so I'm doing that. I actually just had a film. I produce films as well. My very first major film that's released in theaters just came out last Friday. It's called Hell on the Border.
Yeah, that's what, the one with Ron Perlman, right?
Yep. Yeah, so we're in, I think, 16 theaters around the country. None in Minneapolis or in Minnesota, but we're in Michigan for all my Detroit people out there.
Hell yeah.
I think it's out. It's on some of the streaming services too.
It is. It
You
is.
can
It's
go buy
on
it or rent it or
it's
something.
on Amazon.
Yeah.
But
Google Play.
Google Play, a couple of them. Lionsgate picked up the distribution, so
shit.
they get
Huge.
first
Very
distribution. That was huge for me. They get first distribution rights, which I'm cool with.
Yeah.
It's only helping me out on the back end. So yeah.
This is a film that were you involved in the direction, or were you? What was your role in this?
My main role was hiring the casting director, story development, but I didn't write this film.
Okay.
I didn't write this film. It was kind of like fell into my lap. Like I said, I'm a manifester. So I used to write poetry in college.
Yeah.
And a couple of years down the road, I started to write television scripts, just stories that would come up in my head. So I don't know if you guys heard me in the car earlier. I like to talk to myself a lot. Like Mo's probably caught me doing it. I talk to myself a lot.
I don't think I was. I did hear you, but I wasn't sure if you were talking to yourself or you.
I
might
appreciate you
answer. I
respecting
might
that.
answer you. I don't know.
appreciate you respecting that because I probably wasn't talking to you, and I would have got upset if you would have, knocked out my train of thought. But I used to talk to myself a lot, and that kind of went into like script writing.
Okay.
Met a couple guys who do small films in Atlanta about 3 years ago. Then one of my best buddies I went to college with, he's also a writer. So we just started to team up and write more. And then we got into investing into film just so we can get our name out there to let people know that I'm serious about this. Because a lot of times as an athlete, when you try to do something, they put you in this box.
Yep.
A lot of times when you try to step out of that box, they're like, but you're an imposter. They want to call you an imposter just because there's a lot of duality to me as a person.
They try to do that. They even try to do that to Braun.
Yeah,
That's
all
why-
the time.
That's
you
why
know what I
Braun
mean?
put out the more than an athlete movement because
Exactly.
he is much more than.
And they try to create a movement from that. Like they try to say he was finished because he moved to LA because he's into film now. And look at this dude. He's probably gonna be one of the MVP front runners again. You know what I mean?
I think he's gonna ring easy.
He should.
I
The
hope.
Lakers look crazy right now.
Kawhi's in his way, but I don't see it.
That is a problem.
I still
The
don't
Clippers are a problem.
They're a
They
problem,
really
but I
are.
still-
Like who would have thought the
That's the
Clippers are
They're
a
still the
problem?
Clippers.
They
Still the
are.
Clippers.
They gotta be.
They're still the Clippers.
Yeah,
You
so-
get in Staples Center in playoff time.
I mean, but like they really only got Kawhi and
Nah, they got a little team, bro. They
Yeah.
got
I just
Harkless.
seen them.
Yeah.
They
I
got
just
Lou
seen- I mean,
Williams.
yeah,
They got
yeah.
Patrick Beverly.
Yep.
yeah,
They
but
got
Lou will come
Ibaka.
be
Like
23,
yeah.
24 off the bench for sure.
He's a
Like
walking
they
bucket
got
for
some
sure.
pieces. They got some pieces. Not gonna lie. Like the Lakers, I still think are missing one scorer off the bench.
Well,
If they
you
could
know-
go sign like a Jamal Crawford
No.
right
You-
now,
you know
or
who's
like
coming.
Iggy, you think it's gonna happen?
They're just waiting. They're just waiting.
You think, like, you really
After
think
All-Star
Iggy
break?
go-
100%.
When is the deadline? Is there any deadline in the NBA?
I don't think there is.
Like if
You can sign a motherfucker in the playoffs.
Well, you can do that in the football because I just saw Terrell Suggs just sign with
With the Chiefs. Yeah,
He did?
Yeah.
yeah. Like they just picked him up out
Why
waiver.
the
That shit
Chiefs?
crazy. I don't know.
They kind of use that style of rusher. They had Tamba Ali for a while,
Okay.
D Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah, that type of guy who's not quite a linebacker, not quite a DN,
right.
Yep.
but he's
But he
a
that
headache
speed
off the
rusher
ends.
off
You
the-
know what I mean? Like
yeah.
that Von Miller type of dude.
And he's mean.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
mean. You know what I'm saying?
A
You know he's
little
gonna be
bit
pissed
too.
off. He
Yeah.
got cut. He was a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
true.
he got cut. He's
That's
from
true.
here, right? Isn't Terrell Suggs from here? From Minneapolis. He's from
No, like
Minneapolis.
his nephew.
I think Terrell Suggs.
No,
is from
I don't think he's
His
from here.
nephew goes like to a school out here or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
he plays basketball.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Like,
he's
I know
I
that he
thought
plays
he
some
was
sport
from
out here.
here.
league bound. Like
Somebody look that up. Somebody look up Terrell
Fact
Suggs.
check.
we don't fact check on this podcast.
don't?
No, we're
Oh,
rolling
shoot.
with
I
it.
got no
Bro,
fact
Terrell
check.
Suggs is from Minneapolis, and his
We gonna
nephew plays
plays
ball
basketball.
somewhere.
heard it here first.
Yeah, I think he plays for Hopkins.
The
or
Wiseman
something
Show.
like that. But so what were we talking about?
Let's
Talking
dial it
about
back.
me, I
Well,
love-
yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to you. Let's go back like high school time.
Yeah.
So you're playing football. You were in Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you think you were going NFL at this point?
I knew when I was 6 years old.
No shit.
I'm telling
6
you,
years
man.
old?
The power of manifestation.
It's powerful.
Oh, I believe in
is-
it.
It's real, man. It really
everything.
is.
6 years old. You knew.
6.
That was
I
it.
told my mom. In fact, if my dad was on this show right now, I would ask him to bring my second grade career day project.
Oh.
Because I drew myself as Michael Vick, actually.
Oh shit.
And because I used to play quarterback when I was younger, I stopped growing tall, so that shit was dead. But I drew myself as Michael Vick, And I brought up to career day, and I was like, I'm going to play in the NFL. At the time, I think I said I was going to go to, like, Notre Dame. I don't know why I wanted to go to Notre Dame so bad.
Now that makes sense. That's about the right time.
At the time, Notre Dame they were live.
Yeah.
I forgot who they had on their team. They had some ballers. Yeah. And I said I was going to win the Heisman, and I was going to have my house on MTV Cribs, which I don't even think they produce that show anymore. I don't even think that's the thing anymore. But maybe I can bring that shit back.
They should.
But,
like Nate Robinson have a show, like where like he goes out and he goes to people's houses, like celebrity houses. Sports.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit. He does some shit in like sometimes in the car too. Or,
yeah. So and like one of my good buddies from like Detroit, like Edmund Wright, you know, like he's working with him as well. Okay. You know, so yeah, that's how I know about it. You know, because I've been seeing on the stories and all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, so I drew myself as a football player, and the teacher had a problem with it. Not really like she wasn't going to accept the work. She was going to accept my work, but she brought up to my dad like, haha, look what he drew, kind of laughing like that's cute. That's not a career. Yeah. And my dad always said he remembers that moment because now that I'm in the NFL 5 years now, he's like, wow, you knew back then, and it takes that kind of conviction to make a lot of things come
Did you ever
true.
talk to that teacher since?
I haven't.
I would totally reach out, be
but
like, hey,
I
just
bet
want to
you-
let you
I
know.
don't live in spite. I don't live in spite.
No, you don't
My
even
child
have to.
is
Just keep it
that way.
respectful. Be like, just so you know,
She
people
knows.
do chase
She
dreams.
knows.
Oh, she knows.
In the back of my mind, she knows.
I mean, come on
She's
now.
watching.
I mean, like
She's watching
like he
for
played,
sure.
you know,
And then like I grew
5
up in a
years.
small, you know.
Yeah, that's
like,
true. That's true.
She
Everybody
knows.
Send
for
her a pair
sure.
of tickets.
That would be. That
That's-
would be
that's
crazy.
kinda
Like we
bad.
make the Super Bowl. Just that's too much of a come up. I can't send
Yeah, the
Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl?
tickets.
No, that's
No,
Super
no.
Bowl tickets.
Preseason. Preseason.
That's
petty.
4,500
That's petty.
Super Bowl tickets are limited.
Yeah.
even for the
So
teams in there.
but outside of football, music has always been in my family. So my aunt Cassandra, she sang backup for a lot of different like famous bands back in the day.
Oh, shit.
Like back in like the 60s and stuff. So my dad and my mom, they're pretty old. My dad's 75. My mom is 69, 68 now. So I'm the youngest of 9, so they kind of grew up in a different era of music. You know, when like Quincy Jones writing music, that
Yeah,
type of
for
music,
sure.
like that still blows my mind. that
Legendary.
People write music like that, but you know what I mean? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you can really think of
Quincy
a note.
Jones blows my mind.
He is
Period.
most underrated individual in the world, maybe. Like he is incredible.
Crazy.
Dude's incredible.
Yeah, depending on what you believe in as far as like religion or like God, if there is a person walking earth that reflects God, that to me that's it.
That's
Yeah.
Quincy
He
Jones.
should be the Pope. Like why isn't he our mediator?
And
Who's
Chris
that?
Brown.
And every once in a while, he just goes. Every once in a while, he does an interview with somebody, and he just blows the whistle on the industry, and then just falls back into the shadows. Yeah. Like what was the interview we did like a year ago where he said he used to fuck Michael Jackson.
Wait, what?
Bro, yes. Bro, he did a wild interview.
what?
Yes, everybody. He said everybody was fucking everybody back then. He said yes.
Everybody.
I think he said something
everybody.
about Bobby Brown. Something about,
You know what?
bro?
That
I'm
makes
telling
sense.
you.
It makes
I'm
sense.
telling you. He's talking about
I
the
don't doubt
parties.
it.
The parties he used to have at the
I
house.
think he had the wrong shit that day.
Hey,
He got his drinks spiked.
maybe.
I would say yeah. He is a drinker.
Hey.
I mean, all them was back then drinkers, and you know, like that's when the crack epidemic, you know, what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
really
yeah.
started happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, people forget about that.
Right, you know,
Wow.
like these artists was really shooting up and then going and sing.
Yes.
Like 10 minutes later.
There was no
High as
stress
hell.
back in that area or that time. That era was no stress. That was all about living life and
I
feeling
mean, you know,
good.
it's like like I haven't seen it personally, but you know, what I'm saying, I'm from Detroit. You know, what I'm saying, like all the music started from like my area.
That's
You
why
know
I
what I'm
hate
saying?
the whole conversation about the quote unquote drug epidemic. Like, there's always been a drug
always
epidemic.
been.
always
It's a
been.
drug-
Chappelle made that very clear.
Same
in his last
shit, different
stand-up.
drugs.
He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you guys weren't saying shit when it was a crack epidemic, but now all the white people are fucking banging heroin
Right,
and shit
exactly,
like that."
right.
Exactly. Same shit, different drug. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be crack, then it was heroin. And now it's
Ecstasy,
lean.
this, that,
like
blah, blah.
Percocets,
same
yeah.
shit. Same shit.
using the shit that they actually make for, you know, the
We could
medicals
rewind
to-
that, loop that. We could make a new age song. You know that, right? All the drugs that we just said right there.
You're probably right.
For real. Just throw some autotune on that shit.
Yeah, might work.
Get the kickers going.
So you knew you were going to be a football player at the age of 6.
I knew.
That's
You knew
funny
you were
as
going
shit.
to the league. That was it. So this actually brings up an interesting conversation because my wife and I were watching The Shop the other night. Have anybody caught the most recent episode?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so I don't remember what they were talking about that got me thinking about this, but I was thinking about how crazy it is that athletes that basically like you knew since you were 6 years old. So since 6 years old, you've been working towards your career path. And then you reach that career, you actually get there. And then at, not saying for you, but for most people, I mean, let's say running backs in general, right? 35, that's about it.
35 that would be amazing.
Right.
35?
Right. That's
the
about
average
that's a
career for running backs like 3 years.
right.
Yeah.
No shit.
So this career you've been
24
working
years.
for your entire life ends at 30 something, and then what the fuck do you do? And that's why I thought it was such an interesting conversation to think about. Like, most people don't understand it or think about that when it comes to athletes. Is that something that you think? Obviously, with all this other stuff you got your hands on, you must think about that.
I do. I
Because
think about it all the
there
time.
has to be something after.
I do, but I think I don't really think about it as focusing on creating something else for myself outside of football.
Yeah.
I just think about creating.
Yeah.
And then that's who I am and what I exude as a person. And I feel like
Shout out
football
Oz.
is just another I think football is just another opportunity for me to create.
Yeah.
And that comes through how I play the game. I'm creating some kind of inspiration towards the youth when they watch me play. Yep. Like if they see me hustling, I smack a motherfucker, or I get the ball, shake somebody, or score. Yep. That's inspiring somebody, so I'm creating some kind of energy in that moment for me. And that's what's most important about me. So film is how I express myself outside of football, or how you coin it, outside of football for me. Like, it's creating content that relates to people, makes people feel whole and themselves. Yeah. And that's what it's about for me. And a lot of the monetary things come along with that. Sure. Obviously, you do see an epidemic now where I got a lot of guys get done with football and they've always been told that, like, just focus on your craft, just focus on your craft. That when they get outside of football, they don't even know who they are, because football is just an experience. That's just a time.
Right.
I love the quote that, nothing is really ever happening to us. We're just experiencing things. Facts. So, like, I'm just experiencing football right now. I'm not going to play this for my whole life, and probably won't do film my entire life. Yeah. And you need to consolidate all of your aspirations into, like, an emotional mission. Yeah. To make that, like, hey, I'm creating. I'm not trying to be a football player. I'm not trying to be a podcaster. I'm not trying to be an architect. I'm just trying to be someone who makes a difference and creates. And when that comes to fruition for you, like, it's a lot easier to move on from things. Yeah. Because I have a lot of friends who didn't have the opportunity to play in the NFL. Yeah. And, man, to see, like, how much they struggle with it, where, like, they're trying to cope by getting into this type of thing that deals with athletics, whether that's training and this, that, and the third, and how much stress they're under because they're trying to make a certain amount of money while also staying attached to the game. It's like, man, it's a mental hell. It becomes a mental hell. And it's because your identity for so long has been attached to something that's just an experience. Yeah. So, like, wow. I need to go watch that episode, man, because I definitely understand that. Like, when it's done, your whole life you put your hard work into it because people tell you that's what you are. Yep. That's what you mean. Yep. That's your impact. Yep. And it's like, nah, man, you got to redefine who you are and what you stand for and what life means
and
for you.
And even more so, you got kids that are in positions where they can get away with doing only that. Yeah. The teachers will just go, just play football, win, do that. And then all of a sudden, you're a 30-year-old running back about to retire, and you're kind of dumb because you didn't learn shit in school. All you did was football.
And you bang your head around all the time.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
and I was fortunate, man. I have 6 sisters, and I think that women are, like, the best thing ever.
Agreed.
Because they always bring you back to life.
Yeah.
Nothing to say. They will humble you in the good way, you know what I mean? And humble you in the bad way as well.
We just talked about this with Tomorrow a couple weeks ago. Same shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I had 6 of those, and my mother. And they always taught me that you got to create, like, something that's bigger than any object that you can see. Yeah. And that's your heart. Yep. You got to create that. You got to really create a heart, because shit, society today, it'll take it away from you. Yeah. You know what I mean? You won't have direction, and when something is pulled up on your feet, that rug is pulled, which that's what life does. You're scrambling, trying to catch your balance all the time. But when you know you're grounded on what you're doing it for, it makes it so much easier, and you become at peace with it. Like, if football ended for me, man, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
Sounds like it.
you know, I'm fine. You know what I mean? But I mean, shit, I want to play this game for a long time because I'm having fun with it, and I want to just keep creating memories. Like, if I didn't have football, I would have never met Mo. Mo's changed my life physically. He's my trainer. The things that I know now about my body, if I don't know where I'd be if I didn't, meet this guy right now. And so that's what I still love about football. But like I said, man, I'm grounded. I understand, what I'm about and, who I am as a person. And when football is done for me, it won't keep me, with it.
That's a hell of a mindset.
Yeah.
I wonder.
It's a good mindset.
Though.
It's nice to see that because most people just rely on one thing. The second that rug is pulled out, they're fucked. Plain and simple. That's dope.
And that's what I was telling, bro. It's like when he asked me, I'm like, bro not the type that would go out and spend hella money on cars and
right.
No, not really.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I like fashion. I do like fashion.
And I want to talk about that for sure.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But like all that gaudy shit,
right.
you know what I'm saying? That like these young cats is doing now. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like he totally different. And then like by me, like being around him, you know what I'm saying? Like I've learned a lot from him, you know what I'm saying? Like vice versa, So, like we kind of like a tag team in this thing. And it's not just football, like I post on, like Instagram, like it's deeper than football.
Family.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Family
like,
shit, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we got business ventures and shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, like this, like this training.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was the root of it, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how we met, through football and training. But bro, it's deeper than that.
That's what this is. That's what this podcast is.
Yeah.
I mean, most people know it's been him and I. We've let maybe one person in before to help us, and when you stop acting like family,
the
family kicks you out because this is family. Like that's what this is, and it's going to be that way. So if you can't join this team or what we have going on here and understand that this is family shit, you can't be here. So I do want to talk about fashion because I heard that one of the things you were interested in doing at some point was opening like a fashion store, fashion boutique.
For sure. That's in the whenever that happens, it happens. That's kind of just like.
So I want to get into that, but the first question I have is, who is the drip god on the Vikings?
Ooh.
You know what? I have to. You know what? Let's define drip. Let's define drip.
Okay.
So,
got to be top three.
Drip. What you say?
I said, it got to
top
be three
three.
people. Like,
Gotta be
it can't
three?
just
Yeah,
be,
yeah,
like, it
three.
can't just be one person.
Yeah. Number one, I'm gonna give it to Stefan for sure.
Yep.
Stefan is unbelievable with his fashion.
Yep.
He's very daring, and I think that it really,
Daring's a good word.
He's very daring. You know what I mean? Like he'll wear some shit that most people won't, and I think that's what me and him have in common. Like I'll wear some shit that some people are like, what the fuck? But then when they look again, they're like, wow, he just brought me back to a time period with that one. You know what I'm saying? But I would definitely say Stefan 1, Anthony Barr, number 2. Yep. I got to put myself number 3.
Yeah.
I got to put myself
That's
number
why
3.
I asked. I wanted you to put yourself 1.
No, I'm humble. I'm humble. I give it Stefan. But, let's define drip. I think drip is putting something together, not necessarily buying expensive brands. Because anyone can buy, like, some Christian Louboutins and be like, drip.
Look,
it's like, yo,
I want to state this real quick.
$1,500.
I bought this, what I consider to be very drippy jacket.
That's nice.
Guess how much?
I'm going to say $45.
This was $15 at Walmart.
Wow. Walmart coming with that?
Okay.
Let me find out Walmart. Right. Walmart got the heat.
I got on these nice green Pumas.
Those are nice.
$20 Marshalls. All right. And then these nice little joggers right here, $10 Walmart. I don't know how much the hat was, but I think it was $1.
Oh, no, this is nice.
See, and I put the ensemble together. It's like $60.
It's real.
You guys got the same color code.
That's a fact.
Like if I saw you out right now,
Jake
I don't know if
called
you're an A&R or a
Right.
producer,
Right.
or you can just be.
Especially hopping out the Bentley,
You know what I'm
you'd be like,
hopping
I
out
don't
the
know who
Bentley
that
is
is,
like,
but
he does something in the music.
right.
For sure.
I don't. I do a podcast and I shop at Walmart.
That's dope.
But I'm drippy. So
you know what I mean? So that's what I define drip as. And some guys on our team, they buy some expensive things.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I like novelty items. I like things that stick out.
Sure.
Things that you can find at the thrift store. You can bring it out and it looks real retro.
Yep.
Old
I
school,
put it
new
together,
school,
and
man.
Mo can attest to it. I don't really spend money on clothes. I'm not shopping at Marshalls. I'm not. I wish I was at that level. Maybe I need to tap in because the shoes go hard.
I'm saying.
But
I mean, like, shoot, like you say Friday night or Saturday morning after walk through, Like he literally goes through like his whole closet, like and he be dressing himself about 30.
I do that. I have fashion shows.
Like real. So, and
I have
I'm like,
I have a famous mirror in my apartment.
See, and I wondered that too. Like, is this shit all strategy, or like, is all the shit in your closet just that dope that you can just put on whatever before Sunday, and the cameras catch you walking into the stadium?
Like it's all dope, but shit, like he still put it together.
Yeah,
but you're saying like fashion show.
It is.
Diggs got to be the same way.
Oh, for sure.
Because the shit he puts
His
together,
has got to
I'm
be
like,
stressful because he
has
has a
to be.
lot of clothes and a lot of shoes.
His outfits
Stepping
look.
into
His
his
outfits
closet,
look stressful.
I was just like, seize up. I was
Yeah.
like, it's too much. You know what I mean? Overwhelmed. Just too much stuff.
Yeah. He's like the Russell Westbrook of the league.
He is.
He's just, maybe not the league. All right, maybe not the league.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe not the
I
league.
say that.
Who's the craziest? Diggs. Diggs is pretty out there.
He is
Pretty out there.
Damn.
It's nobody on our team.
Like I'm just trying to see like who I've seen.
DeAndre Hopkins has pretty good.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, but he
pretty
always
good.
dresses like he's going to France.
He is. He has a very European swag.
Yeah.
He spent a lot of time there last
He
offseason,
yeah,
so
he
I think
did.
I think he just like, you know, what a culture vulture.
He's one of my favorite players in the league.
He is.
I love
He's
Deion.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Who else be drippy though?
He's the best receiver in the league.
Yo, is Drippy a thing, or did I just make that up?
I mean, sure. I guess you made it in. So like now it's trending. Now I'm over here saying,
All right.
Hashtag drippy.
I like
Hashtag
it. We might call
Drippy.
this episode Drippy.
Drippy.
Oh, shit. I don't know. So let's get back to this fashion boutique.
Yeah.
You want to open a fashion. What type of fashion? You trying to open like a Marshall's, or you trying to open like a place where will DeAndre be able to shop there?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
All
For
right.
sure. Just something that's very just small,
Yeah.
family oriented. Probably wouldn't franchise it out. Just something that I can say, man, I did this and it's my own.
Yeah. Are we talking like high fashion? Or are we talking like thrift? Or somewhere in the middle, or all of them?
I'll say somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Kind of thrifty
Okay.
as well.
Good quality thrift.
I want to offer the opportunity for people to like give clothes back, so you can like recycle
Okay.
clothes as
Yeah.
well.
We have
I don't want to say too much right now because I don't want to people steal my
True,
business
true,
ventures.
true.
But we didn't sign the NDAs out here. So.
no, we did
But
not.
you know what I mean. But yeah, so something that's just small. Maybe a couple brands that I know from friends of mine who also wanted to start some clothing lines, just to consolidate it all to make it just one
Makes sense.
happy family.
little shop.
So I want to talk about football again real quick. So I know you're kind of you've mostly been a third down back in your career, and a lot of that is because of your skill set, your ability to
Catch,
Be patient.
run, fast.
and read defenses.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody that you line up across from and like that's my assignment, that you're like, ah, shit?
We actually played against one last week, and luckily we didn't match up. Thomas Davis.
Oh yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah.
Holy shit. Thomas Davis. Bro,
Yeah.
he just doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, you meet that person in life
Yeah.
that you're like,
Like
this is a
that
wild
nigga,
card,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like,
Yep.
you say the wrong thing, you might be fucking fighting him in 30 seconds.
Yep.
Like,
Ass up.
Thomas Davis is like, and he's smart too.
Yeah.
So like, he my second year in the league when it was with the Panthers.
Yep.
I had a blitz pickup against him, and he has a size advantage on me. Clearly, he's like 6'4", 250, 260.
Damn.
Runs a 4.5 too, like
Yep.
fast.
Damn.
He's fast.
Really?
Too. Yeah.
Holy
Thomas Davis is a
shit.
freak, man.
Freak.
Probably not running 4.5 now in his career.
And that
but,
was
like,
when it was him and Keith.
him and Kuechly. You know what? I was more afraid of him and Kuechly. Kuechly's not that aggressive. He knows what's happening before it happens.
He can get it done.
Yeah, he can get it done, But Thomas Davis ran straight through me like some tissue paper. And I've been thinking about that ever since.
So he
you know what I
got
mean?
your
So
ass.
when I saw the Chargers on the schedule, and I was like, damn, I'm being a lot on third down.
Maybe he'll be
And I was
injured
like,
that game. Maybe.
Nah, he was hyped up, too. He was out there hyped up, yelling. But I had a plan this week. He's lucky we didn't match up. I was going to chop his ass down. I was going to lawnmower that dude for sure.
definitely-
Lumberjack that dude.
Definitely chop them down.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that whole team up.
But I would
Was
say
it-
Thomas Davis, and it was Daniil Hunter. It was
yeah,
Daniil.
because you used to have to face him. I
Yeah.
forgot, yeah.
Daniil is crazy, man.
He's remember earlier when I said
Bro, he's
Quincy
crazy.
Jones is God? He might be God.
He's only like
Yo.
23.
What? Yeah.
He's only like 23.
Like this is one of his second, third year.
No, this is like his fourth. He's in the fourth year now. But
See, that means I'm getting old. I just got my hair cut before. I see all these gray hairs and shit. I feel young always,
dude's
man.
23.
Fuck, that's crazy.
I was 13 when he
like
was
that?
born, so shut up. Wow. All right, I was a teenager. Yeah, no, he is a specimen, and he is special on the field too.
Huge.
What was I just gonna say? I was gonna say something. Oh, was it really? I heard it was like 75% Vikings fans in that stadium.
It
Is that
was.
real?
Oh, yeah.
It was.
It was
I feel bad for the Chargers.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
feel
like you look on their
bad for
side,
them,
they didn't
man.
have no fans on their side.
Because they're like the stepchild in LA. The Rams used to
why
be in LA.
why wouldn't they just stay in San Diego?
It's the Reggie Bush rule. So Reggie Bush got hurt in St. Louis. He's filed his grievance against the NFL. Won. So that pretty much sent out a league-wide mandate that you had to have a stadium that was up to date past this year. So every stadium that was not, qualified up to that year had to either build a stadium in that city, and if the city couldn't afford it, i.e. Oakland, San Diego, you got to move cities that can't afford it. That's why Oakland's going to Vegas. San Diego went to LA, which they're building that masterpiece of a complex for them now down in Inglewood. Regentrification's real out there, man. It's
Really?
crazy. It's bad. Yeah, it's real bad.
What?
But Inglewood that's the
decent.
hood. That's exactly what they put in the stadium. But
Like the backside of the damn stadium is Compton.
yeah, not anymore. They about
Whoa.
to drive all those people out. They about to
Yeah,
put
yeah,
prices
they
up,
finna get all
knock
them
those houses
people out
down.
of there.
You know how it goes. But
That's crazy.
ain't
Messy.
nothing new.
Inglewood
Ain't
and
nothing
Compton
new.
won't be Inglewood and
I
Compton.
didn't know that
no
all
more.
started from Reggie Bush, though.
Yeah, Reggie Bush and a couple of other isolated incidents, but the Reggie Bush one was big because he
Yeah.
tore his ACL.
ACL, right.
Wow,
Damn.
that's crazy. 75% Vikings fans. How does that even happen?
I mean,
Well, Tomlinson's
have
not there, and that
probably
was like the
one of
last
the
of the
best
dying
fan
breed
bases.
there.
my bad. What is that?
I said Tomlinson was like the last of the dying breed when they had good fans showing
Well, I
up
mean, they
there.
still got Phillip Rivers, even though I hate Phillip Rivers.
Wow, he looked bad. He did. He looked bad.
And I heard he was.
And
Still,
he's from my home state.
I
so
heard he
gotta
was.
represent.
I heard he was.
He's getting up there now though too, right?
I think he's done.
He's like 40 or something.
I think he's
Yeah.
done.
Think so?
I think he's retiring. Shit, I
He
would.
looked bad.
He looked real bad.
I was like, wow. I was surprised, man.
It's crazy how some of them guys can get up that age. Because Pat Roethlisberger, he's got to be old as shit now too, right?
Ben?
Or
Yeah,
Ben
Big Ben.
Roethlisberger, sorry.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that. How old is he though? He's
Yo,
old as shit.
Let's
like,
talk
he
about
in
it.
his late
Mike
30s,
Vick
early
getting
40s.
flack. Ben Roethlisberger, no flag? Like, what's going on? Let's talk about it.
What did I
he
see?
still can't move.
I
without
saw a
people
meme
on
the
his
other day
ass.
that said you guys act like Mike Vick killed a 16-year-old kid and then stole and then tried to and then sold the murder weapon on the internet for yeah,
Right.
yeah. And I was like,
Right.
wow.
Because that didn't actually happen.
Right, right. Yeah, I don't.
Crazy.
I hate Ben Roethlisberger. Look, rapists have a look. All right,
Hey, you dead ass serious though about that? Though.
He's got the-
Rapists
he's got
do
the-
have a look.
he's got the
I'm
look.
not saying that being
I
how that
am.
rapist
Yeah,
look.
man, I
but
don't know what
I'll
happened in
say
that
it.
situation.
I'll say it. I just
I don't speak.
I
on
just think
facts,
it's
I don't know.
ridiculous that like shit.
That's true.
Usually rape like allegations that follow you. That's like going to prison.
Yeah.
That's gonna follow you for the rest of your life.
Yo, that shit is actually
But
kind of
it's
fucked
swept
up.
under the rug.
We had a client that, so he was getting his Ferrari serviced, and it was here for a long
You said his
time.
it's Ferrari.
His Ferrari.
I think you
right?
said frog. I was like,
No, so he was getting his Ferrari serviced and was sitting at the shop long enough where we will assume that as inventory.
Mm-hmm.
That day, his son came in that it was about to be our free Ferrari. This gentleman killed himself in his car, shot himself, blew his brains out because he had allegations that he was touching kids or had child porn or some bullshit like that. Apparently, it wasn't true. No facts, whatever. But the amount of flack that he was getting from
Oh
it,
man.
done.
wow.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That shit
It's-
does follow you.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does.
You guys watch Black Mirror? The show on Netflix? It's an episode kind of on that, yeah.
Yeah.
But
That last season was kind of trash though.
it was a reach.
A little bit.
It was a reach.
Yeah. I was excited about the one with Miley too. I like Miley.
I didn't like that episode at
No,
all.
it was trash. That was terrible. But I was excited about it, and then I watched it. and I was like, "What the?"
It hurt to watch.
Yeah, it was
I was
bad.
like, wow,
Real bad.
this is still going, huh?
I almost didn't keep going with the rest of the episodes, and I
Yeah,
didn't.
I feel that.
I
I feel
regretted
that.
it. But yeah, I don't understand the Mike Vick thing. I don't get it at all.
I mean,
Because I feel like this energy for him went away, and now it's coming back.
It's the same thing like the Kobe Bryant Oscar. When he won the Oscar, it came back that, he cheated on his wife. Or
Right.
Allegedly raped a girl who had like 10 guys' DNA. It was if you look at the case, there's some sick shit going on in that case. Like
In the Kobe case?
The Kobe case, like both. I'm disappointed in Kobe because like
Come on,
He fucked up.
he fucked up. She
He
wasn't
fucked up.
even like that,
Yeah.
bro. You know what I mean? And secondly, just like the shit she had going on. That girl was a freak.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Yep.
Like,
Was she a
stuff.
stripper or no?
No, she was an employee.
Jeez.
She was a hotel employee.
Yeah.
It sounded like Kobe wasn't the,
The
only
things
one
that
she
were
was
going
trying
on
to
in that bedroom.
Yeah.
Kobe's a freak. Kobe nasty. Kobe is nasty. That's why I'm disappointed in you, Kobe.
Yo.
You did that with her?
Yeah.
Wow. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I remember
Downtown.
Kobe.
and people do still bring that shit up.
Yeah, for
Kobe
sure.
being a
But
rapist.
with
Like,
the Mike Vick, like you saying, it's the same thing where
you know what it is? It's like because of how powerful the internet continues to become more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
The last time we were dealing with Michael Vick was when he came back and he played for the Eagles. And remember, he was playing real well. Like he came back and was
him and DJ
smoking
were
shit.
killing.
Crazy. I remember I picked him up on my fantasy team, and every week it was like 40 points. I
Yeah.
was like, yo,
It's like Lamar now.
Vic is back. And then, but at that time, the
You saying
internet.
when he got out of jail and shit?
yeah.
When he first came
Yeah.
into the Eagles.
Stacked. dude.
Killing.
Holy shit.
But at that time, the internet wasn't what it is now. And so I'm sure it was still there.
Right.
We just weren't seeing it. And now, for whatever reason, because he's doing like.
That's a good point.
He's doing
Pro
shit
Bowl.
with the NFL
He's
again.
supposed to be a Pro Bowl coach, I believe.
But he's doing some type of commentary now too, with Fox or
Yeah, he
NBC or
is,
something.
yeah.
One of them.
They're signing like petitions and
So it's like he came back and reminded the internet that he existed, and the internet was like, "Oh yeah, forgot about Michael Vick."
Right. Yes.
That's what it is.
it's a monster.
We forget about shit, and then the internet gets reminded from one thing, and we're like, "Oh yeah, that's right, Michael Vick. He killed dogs."
It's tough, man. Because, I mean, a lot of times when you're spewing that kind of stuff on the internet, a lot of people are speaking from the standpoint like if they've never made a mistake in their life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's a
And
lot,
obviously,
there's a
most
lot of
people
perfect,
are-
lot of perfect people on the internet.
there's a lot of perfect people on the internet, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously, that this is a deeper conversation that needs to be had probably with our legal system and with the probation system as well. It's like, man, when is it enough that someone's done their time and that they should just be like, all right, you've done the amount of time that we requested to fulfill your crime or whatever,
Yep.
and let's leave it to rest. Because that's starting to drip over into our social lives a little bit, definitely. Because we're labeling everybody so much that we feel like it's in our right to say that this person's not a good person, they're a bad person.
fuck
Just
that.
because
Shit
something they've been
changes,
through,
man.
it's like stuff changes. Stuff changes. Like,
Shit
I've done some
changes in
fucked up
6
shit in my
months.
life.
yeah,
If the internet found out about it, I'd be in trouble.
goodness,
Straight
I'd
up.
be in big trouble.
I'll be under the jail.
Yeah, I'm saying.
goodness,
Trust me.
and
I mean, that's anybody. I mean, fuck me too. I got charged with 3 felonies, and I turned that shit around and went straight positive. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a
Look at
whole
you-
different
Look
game.
at you now. Best podcaster in the Midwest.
But you know, like back to what you were saying about your Sunday dinner, being able to teach people how to communicate again. That's a firm thing that what I specialize in now is I sucked at communicating before. I just get fucking pissed. I just say it the way it is. But now I'm starting to learn how to understand different people's psychology, different personality types, being able to communicate. People suck at communicating now, especially with social media. Everybody's got their opinion on that shit,
Yeah.
whether they fucking done shit or not. I'm telling you, man, most people are not perfect.
Yeah,
Actually, nobody.
it's a hunger to be heard as opposed to an appetite to be to understand someone.
Face-to-face communication is so crucial, and it's so few nowadays. You know what I mean? Everybody's social media.
Well, human beings are all so damaged that this place that we call the internet is like this place where we all go to
Sims
be
world.
recognized. Like,
Yeah.
hey, look at me over here. Look at my problems. Look at my great life. Look at it's like it's because we're all just fucked up. Like we're all of us. Nobody's perfect. Everybody's gone through shit in their life that has fucked them up. Even the people that have had like these privileged lives their whole life. That's fucked up. That shit is fucked. They've never, you know what I mean? They've been under a rock. They've been protected.
Right.
And now they're on the internet trying to get people to like notice them. Like, hey, look at my struggle over here. And then telling everybody about what everybody else is doing wrong. Like, I didn't do that, so you shouldn't do that. Like, we're all different.
Right.
We're all different. But anyways, let's move on from that conversation. I'm also interested in the series that you did on YouTube, the Stepping into Vulnerability series, which I think goes into what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Opening up lines of communication about things that people are either A, afraid to talk about, or B, don't think is wrong. You know, like the fact that somebody could think that somebody's sexual preference is wrong to me.
Yeah.
That blows my fucking mind.
I'm not gonna lie, like I was straight homophobe back in the day, like period.
I mean, like I'm pretty sure everybody was though.
I was straight
because
up.
It wasn't
like,
that
fuck
common.
that shit wasn't
known to be common. You
Yeah.
feel me? But now that it is, you know, like we have to be accepted of it.
Right, 100%.
I think I just have the type of personality where the way I view things is so logical that I look at someone that has an issue with another person's sexuality that has nothing to do with them.
Nothing
And I'm
to do
like,
with them
what?
at all.
Why do you care?
Because like
what is it?
And it's also in condition because you know, like if you think about it, like growing up, you know, like you hear your uncles and your daddies, you know, say don't be a faggot, don't do that. So it's like, all right,
you just said it. You just said that word.
That's all right.
Scared the shit out of me.
Hey,
well, like I'm just quoting, you know, like what my
no, it's true.
You know
He just said it.
Yeah.
Yo, but that's an emphasized word though. Like I was talking to Seth. I work with him. He's one of my sales consultants. One of my top guys. He's Bentley certified, super intelligent. I totally dropped fucking F-bomb like crazy. And he's like, it's okay. Like before I even got to like say sorry, like, yo, I didn't, you know, nope.
Is he gay?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
super gay. Super gay.
Yeah, because I think like you said, like
I mean, like is super gay saying better than the F word? I mean,
he's like I tell all my gay friends that too, so don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, well I didn't mean it like intentionally. It's just growing up.
Is that kind of like when females call each other the B word?
no.
No,
but that's like us calling. That's like
I'm just saying, like,
stop on your head.
Do
not do this to this podcast right now.
It's not like that.
This is good right now.
Well, you know what?
I mean, like
I do know
I
some
get what
people.
you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Like, you know how good, like, hey, bitch, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just wondering if this.
I think nowadays it's like calling the girl a C word is what it's like nowadays.
I think that
back in the day it was different.
In certain circles, maybe.
That is the question of the day.
In certain circles, that might work because I actually do. I won't say names, but somebody that I know has family members that are gay, but they're very.
My uncle's gay. Yeah.
But they're very like you wouldn't. I don't want to say this. I don't want to be offensive, but you would never know. You would never know by speaking with them, or you know what I mean. They're not the typical.
So, let me say this. I think we just have to start viewing homosexuality and the struggles that they've been through very similar to a lot of the racial struggles and sexual struggles that we've been through in America. It's the same thing.
100%.
So even you saying like something like my uncle's gay, people say stuff like I got a black friend. I'm not gay. I'm not racist.
That's what they told
me too. So we have to be
too.
careful.
I was like, fuck.
We're saying that just because you have a gay friend or you know someone's gay doesn't mean you understand their struggle, you can speak on their struggle, and I try not to as well.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm speaking more from a general standpoint when I say
that's
this.
the truth.
We have to start thinking more like that and understanding that's exactly what it is. So don't try to clear your conscience by saying, I got a gay friend.
Right.
You know, because you, in fact, in that moment are perpetuating homophobia.
Right.
Homophobic, you know.
You're admitting that you look at it in a different way.
Exactly.
Way.
You're
Right.
kind of
Something
admitting
different.
that. You know, and I know you're not meaning to, but it's just something like you say you're conditioned to.
Yeah.
And it's like, how's that any different from you dealing with a situation where someone says something racist and you're checking them on it and they're like, no, I got a black friend. You can be like, oh.
Yep.
Right, you know what I'm saying? You feel me?
No,
so
that's a valid point because I've had that happen to me when I said that. I said, hey, you know, I had a gay friend at my last place. They're like, that's like saying you got a black friend. I'm like, God, I sound like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Do.
I'm like but you know, but seriously though, that's what made me kind of realize all this shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like Seth and Johnny, they're very good friends. I would consider them like family. Like, they're super loyal, very genuine people. Like, they're the ones that honestly made me put in perspective. Like, they went through that struggle. It's like his dad fucking hated him forever, dude. Forever. Like, he was in the class forever. And finally he said, fuck it. But then he went through the same, like, relationship struggles and this and that and abusive and mental. And it's like, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
the same shit.
That's what I was just going to say is the other, I think the most important part to this is listening and believing people when they tell you about their struggles and the shit that they've gone through, because we do this thing where we're like, well, we don't, it's like the whole black people talking about how they're being mistreated by police, and there's all these white people that are like, no, you're not you're not treated different. That's like, bro,
listen,
just listen and believe it. Like, what are we lying about?
I mean, it's video evidence.
Right. Like, right.
Like, it's not like hearsay, she said.
Oh, but you're only showing the bad videos. Like, what are we going to show, the good videos?
I see it a lot in conversation, and this is what, like, stepping into vulnerability was about, really. So, I see a lot in conversations where someone is expressing to you, like, their struggles. Yeah. You immediately get into, like, a defense mechanism a lot of times.
You want to talk about your struggles.
Let me compare my struggles.
Yes.
Always. And in that action, you're not really listening to what they're saying. Yep. You're already just, like,
waiting for your turn.
Mine is worse.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. You know, and that is what stepping into vulnerability kind of covers. Yeah. Being open enough to share yours, but also let people pour into you. Mm-hmm. So what I did was, I got a group of kids who aspire to be dancers, and dancing is not like football. You know, it's very subjective. If you're good at dancing, people tell you if you're good or not. You need feedback to know if you're good. Football, you got stats that tell you, you know what I mean? It's objects that you can look at, like, okay, how many touchdowns he got, how many yards he got. That's going to tell you how good he is for a lot of times, you know, a lot of situations. And dance is not like that. So I see a lot of kids who aspire to do things in the arts of things, which is, you know, painting, dancing, music, whatever. And they're being shot down a lot because and having their vulnerability stripped away because instead of people listening to them, they're telling them, nah, what you want doesn't fit in the scheme of what makes money, what I see as a realistic goal for you, whether that's their parents or friends. And I want to just help them have a platform to say, hey, this is what I want to do, and I'm not afraid to say what I want to do. A lot of kids know, you ask the question, I go and I speak to a lot of kids, and I ask them, like, what do you want to do when you get older? They get all shy. And that's telling me is because someone's told them that's not
can't do it.
Can't do it.
Yep.
The one who really believes it's gonna be like, well, shoot, I want to be a dentist. I want to do whatever. Yep. And I noticed that initial reaction a lot, and I think it's just because their vulnerability has been stripped away. 100%. And I think vulnerability is our greatest strength because genius is nothing but consistency in disguise. Mm-hmm. Where like if you're the person who you fell, but you understand you got to keep going until you get it. Yep. Then it's no such thing as failure at that point.
100%.
You know what I mean? You don't become a slave to that kind of mindset, yep. And that's what stepping into vulnerability kind of covered. We started off by just doing like a dance choreography with kids, yep. Helping me stepping into vulnerability as well because I'm not a dancer. You know what I'm saying?
You did a great job though.
Hey man, appreciate that. My Millie Rock is tight. It's tight. But you know what I mean? Could at least a little work. Could be better. Shoulders. Hit
got like the RoboCop going on.
A little yoga be a little better. But yeah, and we also just highlighted a couple people who were in moments in their lives where they had to exemplify vulnerability. Like one of my best friends in LA, he's homosexual. And he talked about a little bit what you were discussing, that upbringing that a lot of us don't even give the conversation to that he went through, of like him being a college athlete and being homosexual, but had to be in the closet the whole time because he lived in such a heteronormative society that didn't accept him. Yep. And what that did on his mind, and his father just rejected him for so many years. It's like, wow. But if you meet that conversation with, but my struggle is worse, you'll miss that entire message.
100%.
Yeah, and think about all of the, the NFL players right now that are currently going through that struggle.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. A
lot. Just statistically speaking, a lot.
It's crazy to think about, like, a lot of people complain about this generation, all the stuff that's changing, but this is a generation where we're learning so much and everything's changing so much.
And we can create so much.
100% if we stay positive with this shit.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. That this younger generation that's coming up that all the old heads are complaining about.
Like they got a wave.
They're a pretty accepting generation of kids that we got coming up right now that are
I honestly
creating new genders every day.
It is a power struggle with it right now.
It is
crazy.
It is. I have learned just accept whatever the fuck it is. I'm just gonna accept it because again, like we talked about earlier with the drug epidemic, it's the same shit, different day. We used to be those at my time growing up. I was that to the people that are the age that I am now. Like.
All right, like we was all knuckleheads to the old heads.
I couldn't
sure.
Yeah, when I tried to listen to Snoop Dogg around my mom was like, "What the fuck?"
And I grew up Muslim.
Oh, yeah.
So, Muslim is, like, the most
tough.
comparable thing to being Catholic.
Yeah.
Right.
Where it's, like, it's super strict. I went to all Muslim school to, like, the 6th grade.
Yeah.
So, like, me and my brother, I was getting into that. Music is in my family. So, I have a cousin. Her name's Victoria Monet. She's a writer for Ariana Grande, has her own music as well.
Very
My brother
dope.
is a sound engineer. So, like, music has always been my family. My sister Medina, beautiful voice. She's a pharmacist now, but, like, she used to, like, lead us in the morning when we were cleaning and stuff, like, singing like Cinderella. We were like Cinderella in there. She's singing. We're folding clothes and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it was like that. So music's really my family. I don't know if Mo told you, like, music is my life.
Yeah.
Like, it's gotten me through everything. Music that's to my core. I think if I wasn't a human, I would just be a musical sign. Yeah. That's just sitting there. That's me, for real, because music is everything to me. I never not have it on, you know?
To a T.
And I forgot what the heck I was going with that, but what were you talking about? I forgot what the heck I was going with that.
I like the music is your life conversation.
Music is my life. Yeah. So, like, it moves me in a lot of different places. So, like I was saying, grown up Muslim.
Yep.
Playing hip-hop, dude, I'm never going to forget. I had to go on this field trip to this place called Camp Cosby. When I was in 5th grade, we were going to, like, this lake.
Sounds like a scary
yeah,
right.
Now. Sounds like some get out shit, right? You know what I mean? It was cool. It was cool. We were just going to go canoeing and shit. You know what I mean? It was going to be cool. It was going to be nature. You know what I mean? Get us out in nature. Alabama's a very, it's a lot of nature in Alabama. So we were going to Camp Cosby, and I had my headphones on. This one you had CD players. Yep. And I had Get Rich or Die Trying. I think, Get Rich or Die Trying came out when I was like in the 5th grade. Dang, that was a long time ago. So I'm listening to this.
I was legally drinking at that time. So.
Yeah, because I was literally finna go into high school when that shit came out. Yeah,
I was like in the 5th grade. I was like 11 or 12. I was like 11. You know what I mean? So I had this CD. And I got mad at my mom because she was taking me to school and she kept hitting bumps.
Oh no!
And she was skipping. You know what I mean? I was like, Mom, could you ease up on the bumps? I literally
you told mama that?
Don't you remember?
I love music so much at the time.
Don't you remember the ESP on the?
Many. That's what I'm listening
in the
to.
club.
I'm in 5th grade listening to this, and my mom was like, "What are you listening to?" She grabbed it and put it on, and she heard gunshots and 50 cents. Oof. I was just like, "This is what Kareem." She instantly, blame my brother Kareem. This is what Kareem got you listening to. I was like, "Mom, I love this music," But like that stuff was.
He's a bad influence.
Cool in my house.
Die for it at that age. Though.
So like, I was, like you said, we were that generation where like. We were the rebels listening to hip-hop and your family just wanted you to listen to jazz.
Yeah. But you know what's funny about their generation, too? They had the same era where they were listening to Kiss and all the bullshit that was wrong to the generation before, too.
You know they were wrong for that.
Same shit, different fucking day. It's all the same shit. We're all just experiencing what our parents experienced.
Everything just cycle each other all over again.
I was a gangster.
So like that's what they mean
Couldn't
by
tell you
when
any
history repeats itself.
Yep. So I used to find hip hop. I remember one time, I don't even remember what I was singing, and I had CD player shoved in my pocket, and I was singing some shit. I was cussing. I thought I was whispering. My mom got turned around. I got slapped so fucking hard, dude. She was like, you better not say that shit. But oh man, fuck. What was I gonna say? I totally forgot. I don't know. Fuck it.
Let it go.
Fuck it.
On to the next.
Nothing.
All right. So I also want to talk about the do-rag talks.
Oh yeah.
Again, you're doing so many things on the internet that I think are amazing.
Yeah,
I think the stepping into vulnerability. Before we move on from that, I think that what you're doing is important. I don't know if you plan on continuing it.
Yeah, I do.
Continuing
it's
to do
an
more,
off-season thing. We want to expand it more and more.
Yeah.
I have my little producing crew out in LA that I'm gonna, get back with, and we're gonna put our brains together to make more impactful content. Because I think that's what the internet is for. We have so much like bad stuff going out right now that I feel like if we can just get more people putting out positivity than to wake up to. Because shit, at this point, it's pretty hard to tell people like, get away from your phones. That shit ain't gonna happen.
No. It ain't happening.
It ain't happening. You know what I mean? Corporate America is going to the phone. They got apps and shit now. So it's like people are going to be looking at their phone. Might as well be some good content.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed.
Keep it positive.
The internet is a great and powerful tool. That's what I always try to tell people. Like, oh, the internet is so bad. No, it's not
a
bad.
living thing.
No, it's not.
There's got to be a good balance.
And
though.
you can choose where you go on the internet. Nobody can force you to go somewhere on the internet.
You
can choose where you.
Like you gotta log into it. Like
Exactly.
Like it's your choice to go to that site.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like my baby, she's 7 months, but she loves the phone.
Of course.
And at first they're like, no phone, but she's gonna have it regardless. That's gonna be required in school. That's gonna be this and that and this. It's about pushing the positives. But
Just
I
wonder
feel like
if
there is a
if
common
your cell
balance.
phone is required, though. Like,
It's going to be. I
like in
guarantee
school,
it.
I bet it is at some place.
Like I got
jobs
detention
it
for
is.
having my for texting in class. So.
I love the shit where I seen this meme the other day where it's like the teacher back in the day in our generation would say, it's not like you're going to have a calculator in your pocket at all times.
Yeah.
And then they got the meme of the
do.
fucking cell phone and that shit.
Added a lot more.
Yeah, we do.
Mrs. Burgess.
Speaking of bad
Stewart.
things I used to do, I used to steal people's calculators back in the day, the real nice ones.
Oh, like
were
the
that guy?
And then
X90s?
sell them back to
You were
them.
that guy?
X90s? Yeah. X90
Asshole.
calculators?
I can't even lie. I had a bunch of little fronts, man, but I can't even speak about them.
That was my best one. Because once you lose your calculator, you can't go home and tell your parents I lost it. Those things were like $80.
Dude, they're
I was a
expensive.
hustler,
$90.
Yeah.
$93.
Like you got to buy it
Yeah.
back. You don't have a choice. You
Yeah.
need it back.
You know what? This is how.
Top rhyming, now it's Benny Hannes. Getting dollars, I got different problems. New gun, got new hollow. Seen the ops in traffic, now we finna follow. New night, I'm with a new model. She sucked me up and she do swallow. Puts her name Lucy on the Ricardo. We were 10 bitches playing spin a bottle. Ran out of bags, I gotta wrap it in saran. Ask around, he stamp like the bells whenever they land.